Lifewave.com. And Jason, every Saturday, Jason, we have training and it's morning, 9 a.m. Eastern. And can you tell us the website for that one?
For the training on Saturday? Well, the training on Saturday has just changed because it's now at 1 o'clock, at least for the next 3 months, I believe. It's going to be, we're going to plug into the Merits team training. You know, we all kind of go up into the umbrella of Steve and Gina Merritt.
Right.
And I know some of you went to their Believe convention just a few weeks ago, and it was incredible and just an absolutely extraordinary weekend. So they actually have a training at 1 o'clock on every Saturday. And so we're looking to start, at least for the next 90-day run, we're going to funnel everyone into their 1 o'clock training. And those are recorded, but you can go live to their training as well. And I'm kind of stalling because I'm getting their actual website. So if you bear with me just a second.
Okay.
I have that in just a moment because I posted it into the Team Synergy Facebook page that we all use. And
it is thisisitteam.com/SAT.
that's exactly what it is. And you're right ahead of me there, Stephen. So good work.
Hoorah.
And in my face, in my face.
That doesn't happen often, and not with
me.
Yes, but now that it's at 1 o'clock, it will be easy on us to attend. Is that one interactive?
That one is not interactive.
Okay.
Because typically, like even the last training that they did, there were nearly 1,000 people on that training. So that could get really crazy really quick, as you guys know, because you guys have big things too. So you know how quickly that could get nuts. So
and by the way, depending on the day of the week is depending on, like they have one on Wednesday nights as well. And the only difference is when you do the .com, you go /WED, the abbreviation for Wednesday. And those are at 8 p.m. Eastern.
Yes. So I guess everybody with your schedules of work or family, whatever you might have going on, there is every day something where you can plug in, watch, learn, train, and stay connected. So I hope that all of you wrote that down, and of course text me if you need this information again. If you forget it. It took me about 2 months to remember. Explore X39, believe it or not, I was texting Shannon 100 times asking for that website. So there is no judgment here. Anyway, Jason is here. He doesn't have much time. He has to leave. But Jason, if you will, please give us 5 minutes. We would like to call on Jennifer because we have an amazing testimony that Jason, you might enjoy as well. We have an amazing testimony about Morgellons disease. So
hang on, I'm new at this. I'm trying to figure out how this stuff works.
Okay.
Who am I looking for?
Jennifer, right? Is it Jennifer that's here tonight that said that she's gonna give a testimony? Let me look it up.
I see Janice made it. That's good.
Okay.
Yes, I'm here. Jennifer's here.
Right.
And Brian.
It is Jennifer and Brian. Okay. Now listen.
I gotta find her though. Hang on.
Okay.
Hallelujah. Jennifer, what name does it say on the screen?
Brother,
sorry, I have to keep.
Jennifer Collins is showing, and she's waiting.
Yeah, it shows Collins. That's my maiden name, Jennifer Collins. Yeah.
Okay. Do you see her?
I'm slow.
See?
Oh, there we are. There you are.
And Brian, wave, Brian.
Hi.
Wait a minute, Brian. Don't wave yet. I won't be able to see you.
He's right here.
They're standing on their head. How do they do that?
You're kind of like
Wait, are we upside down?
You're sideways.
Oh, uh-oh.
Not upside down, just sideways.
Okay. We're trying to figure out our tripod. We were trying to set up early. Hold on, he's gonna see if he can fix it. Let me know if it gets fixed here. He's just trying
I'll
to,
let you know. Right now, he's a handyman, literally.
he is. It's actually our friends. We're out here at the coast and we have a whole group of
We need to
Hey,
go.
Friends, they went
there
out.
it is.
Got it.
Okay,
Okay, I have to,
okay.
I hope this goes all the way
Okay.
up.
Now,
I
if
don't know
you've
if
been
that goes
wanting
all
him
the
to
way up.
sit close, he's gonna have
No.
to sit close with you
You're
now.
gonna have to sit close. You know what? Maybe we just better hold this like
Yeah,
this.
might have to.
Our friend loaned us the tripod. We thought maybe that
That
would.
was nice of him,
I
though.
know.
Oh, there you go.
All
So
right,
we're-
friends. So welcome, Jennifer Bryan. If you
Thank
can,
you.
in very short 5 minutes or less, tell us about your testimony with Morgellons. I got really excited when I heard the testimony. So I want this is a first thing, and then we're gonna go on with Jason, what he has to say. Okay, so
Yep.
go ahead.
And real quick too, a girl at our church bought extra pack for a lady who has a tumor, cancer tumor. She was only on it a month, went back to her doctors. It's already shrunk a lot in 1 month.
Whoa.
That's
That was
amazing.
no, and she couldn't cook, she couldn't move around a whole lot, and now she comes to the church, the picnics, she's got more energy. So, and with that, I'll let Brian tell you his testimony, but there you
Okay.
go.
Amazing.
So I gotta give you the kudos, Steve, brother Steve, because I saw your skin condition the first time we watched, and I'm like, I think this is for me. So we've been on it for a while now, and I've noticed quite a difference in my healing.
90%, yeah.
It's just amazing. And I've tried so many things over the years. I've had it for 11 years, and I know other people out there are hurting worse than I am. They've got it worse than I am. So it's not a fun thing to go through. But, you know, I'm getting that healing now, and it's just so amazing. It's a blessing. You know, I've been praying about this for a while now, and then, you know, found you guys, and then we joined up under you. So in fact, I just talked to a guy yesterday, you know, because he's got health conditions. So it's it's exciting to, you know, help people out. You know, that's the main thing for me is knowing that this is working for me, and that, you know, there's quite a few people out there that are suffering. So if we can find them somehow and tell them, you know, it's just amazing. It's a miracle.
And by the
Well,
way,
you know,
Brian,
here's the thing.
uh-huh.
Is that, you know, when you told me that it was Morgellons, you know, we've had somebody else asked about, will X39 help with Morgellons? And we would tell them, you know, say, well, you know, X39 doesn't heal, but what X39 will do is X39 takes and it does help you with your stems. It helps your stem cells by activating the copper peptides in the body.
Well, what happens when we say that X39 doesn't heal, we can't make claims like that, but
Okay,
what
right.
heals is your own body, that
Yeah.
God
Right.
gives you stem
Exactly.
cells and it activates your stem cells, and then the stem cells in your body are repairing organs and tissues. So that's
Yeah.
how it happens. But the Morgellons here, that's an amazing testimony. So many people suffering, as you said, Brian, and that was just like answer to a prayer for many people that X39 is helping.
He had it on his head, his chin, his leg, everything. Most everything has cleared up. Here's his arm. It looks better than it ever has looked.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's just totally
I've
healing
got
up.
a-
It used to be really red, you know, bleeding sometimes. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And it's just like 90% gone.
Amazing.
Brian, do you remember when Jana interviewed, when we lived in Prague, she interviewed Harold Villa? He was the German scientist that the government had him do a study. At that time, he was doing the study on the chemtrails. And this is where he discovered what caused Morgellons.
I've heard about that.
Mhm.
Yeah, and he actually, what it was, the German government approached him as a scientist, and they said, you know, we have a lot of botany life dying and stuff, and we need to know what's causing it. And when he was doing the studies, he was able to link it to the chemtrails, But then he also realized this was, in his opinion, was one of the base causes for people ending up with Morgellons.
Yeah.
So, you're probably one of the first cases that I've ever heard of someone really getting serious help with Morgellons.
So
It's
that
almost impossible.
I'm so excited because
It's a miracle.
I mean, I've tried things and it looked like, okay, it looks like it's healing. And then it's almost like it has a mind of its own and it just came back,
The
with a
vengeance.
vengeance. So,
And it's not doing that now
Yeah,
after 3 months.
and kind of and I'm not sure about this, but to me, it seems almost like whatever the patches are doing, it's literally turned off the production of the fibers, because that's why you're not having healing in that spot, is because these fibers that are coming out.
right.
And it's kind of weird
Oh.
because it's like peeling off
Plastic.
plastic off your skin.
And now it's not plasticky anymore.
Yeah.
That is
It's-
so interesting. I mean, I want to talk to you even later after this Zoom. I have to go back to
Sure.
Jason because he's leaving us
Okay,
soon.
okay, okay,
But,
okay.
but I so appreciate this. You have no
welcome.
idea how this will help people, that there is
Yeah.
such. Thank you
I'm
so much, Brian.
so happy.
Jennifer, talk to you very
Yes.
soon, okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
Jason, so now welcome for real. We're gonna give you platform here. Tell people how long are you in with the Lifeway, with the patches? Do they still continue helping you? And why are you excited about this company?
Well, absolutely, and certainly honored to be on with you all, and Brian and Jennifer. Goodness, that's an amazing story. I hope you really document that with some good pictures and some before afters, because that's really what makes movements happen, especially with a condition like that, because you can really see it. And so if you've got some, maybe when it's at its worst, and then maybe some progress, and that would be really something to be able to do that. So just wanted to say that because that's so amazing what you all just shared there. So I've been involved with Lifewave now for about 13 or 14 months. It's been really just a godsend. It came into our lives at a time that we really needed it on many levels. Really, for me, I was going through a lot of things in our personal lives. So for me, this business has in some ways been a distraction. It's been a place for me to channel an enormous amount of my energy, which has been great, because there's nothing that men like more to do than to build something. And it's so empowering when you can just take something and build something of significance with it. We want to provide and protect. I mean, that's how we're wired. And so that's how I feel. I've got 3 little girls. Well, they're now teenagers. And my wife, Ty, who's down in Florida right now, right in the middle of that tropical storm, Deborah or Debbie or whatever it is down there. It's not good, but she's down there with all her college friends. So I've got the ship here. But so anyway, but we've been involved with Lifewave now for 13 or 14 months. It's been so good. I got involved because I really needed something for my hip pain. I had serious hip discomfort, chronic pain. I had a lifetime of athletics, Division I collegiate soccer. I was heavily involved in martial arts for a long time. Things that basically take a real toll on your body. And so at 53, I'm now feeling it pretty well. I mean, I'm still trying to get my workouts in, but when you're gimping around the gym, just trying to get from place to place, it's not really how I wanted to feel. So I definitely had a need there. We'd also, had built a significant business online the prior decade, and watched that get, washed away and taken away in an unceremonious uh, period of time. And so we kind of were at a point where on both levels, we really needed it. I've been playing with some ideas on things. Nothing was really catching and working. And so that's a real exhausting thing. So spent a few years really doing that. And when I say we lost a business, it was a multi-deca $1 million business that was basically taken overnight. So this wasn't a small business. This was a business where we had 30,000 people in our organization that got wiped away overnight. And so it was a decade worth of work. And then we were trying to figure out the next play. So I only give you that for, for context. But man, when we found this, my hip pain was gone within 48 hours. And so when the worst pain that you have in your body is suddenly alleviated and literally gone within 48 hours, it means something, because now I would wish that for everybody, but it's not going to happen like that, unfortunately. It's not always going to be a quick, some people feel stuff right away. Some people, it takes weeks. Some people, it takes, it takes months. And I've had degrees of things that have happened for us, happen for me. Well, both of us really, but I'll just talk about mine right now over periods of time. So like within 2 days, the hip pain was gone. That's awesome. Because when you activate your stem cells, you're going to find that those stem cells can take a lot of different forms, as I'm sure Jana has explained and Stephen has explained over time. And so, you might feel like the pain that you have should be gone by now, but maybe it's taken another form and it's taking care of something else within you. We found that to be true a lot. And we found that over and over, hundreds of times with people. And so within a month, my A1C was really high. My blood sugar was extremely high. I had a transplant. And of course, once a kidney transplant back in 2015, and I'm on anti-rejection medication. So I take my labs all the time. I know my lab work. I know how my body responds. I know what, my electrolyte shortages are. I mean, I just pay a lot of attention, and I know how it feels when my blood sugar is high, and I know how it feels when it's low. I mean, you get to know your body over time. And so, it's like when if any of you have ever dealt with anything like that, it really is, one thing can lead to another real quick. So you just got to pay attention. And so for me, I pay attention when my A1C was a problem. But by getting on these patches within a month, it all went down by 35% within about 4 weeks. So I went and had my blood work done, and my doctor's coming in and it's like, what in the world are you doing? That's my doctor coming into the room. Now, normally when my doctor comes in the room and says, what in the world are you doing? It's terrible news. Like, it's almost, what the H have you been doing? Like, you just, you eat and just, are you not paying any attention to what I'm saying? But this was the opposite. This was shock. This was, what have you been doing? And so I talked about that. And when I tell you my blood sugar went down by a good 35%, back down to about 40%, and it stayed in that range. It's kind of just been a baseline now. So it's been a lot more just steady. It's not nearly as, sometimes it can be volatile, for whatever reasons, but it's been, and of course, the number one thing you always have to cut out is sugar. It's always the best thing you can do for your body is cut out sugar. You don't need sugar. It's not necessary, and it leads to so many problems. But then that's the first thing they'll tell you. And the second thing they'll tell you is, you need a walk every night after dinner. It's like the best things you can do when you've got blood sugar issues is those things. Cut out sugar, take a walk after dinner. It'll just change everything. Stick an X39 on your body first thing in the morning, wherever you like it. It will be the ultimate game changer for you. It will change your life. And man, I could just talk on it all day because I love what it's done. The other thing it's done is this. So if I may, Ms. Jana and Stephen, the other thing it's done is this. I mean, so I've been on it now for 13 or 14 months, and I've just been kind of casually just doing my thing. And we just got off a cruise, an Alaskan cruise that we took with our girls. And of course, you're not good when you're on a cruise typically. You eat, you do things, you kind of try to get your money's worth. I know that's how I am. I try to get my money's worth. That's a horrible mindset when you're on a cruise. It's just a terrible idea. But that's what I do. And so I got off the cruise and we got home and we had a wedding. And this is I tried to put on a suit that I have not worn. This is a suit I've not worn for a very long time. It's one of my favorite suits. I've got, I've only been wearing my fat suit. You know, the one that everyone's got their fat clothes, the ones that they're usually my go-to.
Oh, yeah.
Clothes. I've got my great clothes I'd love to be able to wear. And, this is my fat suit. This is the one I go to when it's all just gone wrong, And so I've been wearing that suit because it's a nice suit and it's a gray suit. And unfortunately, I've had a lot of really, bad things lately. And so it's all just been funerals and bad things. So I've just been wearing my fat suit. Last time I tried to get into my really nice, cool suit, I couldn't even get it over my butt, let alone getting it buckled or buttoned. I couldn't even get it so my legs slid in and get it up and over. You know what I mean? So it wasn't even close. And so for whatever reason, when it was time to go to this wedding the night before, I'm sitting there like, I'm probably going to be wearing my fat suit because I just got back from this cruise and I've not been good. But I went ahead and I said, I'm going to try putting on my good suit, the one I like. And I've got a couple suits like that. They're from the same guy. They're for relatively expensive suits, relatively. So it's a real shame I can't wear them, right? So I'm really just like, all right, I'm gonna try this suit. And I slid it up just nice and easy. And I was like, I don't even believe this. And I buttoned both. Like I thought, there's like a close button and a far button. It's kind of like they give you like that 2 inches, almost like they set you up, like knowing that you might need that extra button, right? And so, but I did it the way it's supposed to happen, like a double button. And I was just like, holy cow, I can't believe I get like last time I tried this suit on, it was a nightmare. And here I am just wearing it like the day I bought it, which so I went to this wedding, had an awesome time. It was wonderful because it was probably one of the most spiritual, beautiful weddings I've been to in ages. One of my dear friends, they had a huge wedding in the most gorgeous church I've ever been in, minus one, that we went to in Europe. But other than that, this is the most beautiful church I've ever been in. They had the most spiritual wedding with over 300 people. It was just everything I needed because I just watched that absolutely horrendous beginning of the Olympics. That was just so stupid. And so it's like it washed all that away. It was so good. Such a beautiful wedding. And anyway, so I went to that wedding and I know I'm going a little bit here, but stay with me. So I went to that wedding. It was so beautiful. And I came home, and the next day I actually weighed myself because I was like, man, how did I get that suit on? And so I weighed myself because I normally haven't been, because when it's all bad news, you just don't weigh yourself. Right. And so, but I'd gone last time I weighed myself, I was 226, which was terrible because I'm like 5'10", and I'm kind of a little bulky, but not bulky, but like I look like I used to work out because I did. But so I was 226, but then this time I was 190, 196, 197, 196. I couldn't even believe it because
Getting the Bruce Willis look back.
I never jumped on a scale and actually, it had been that big of a difference. I just hadn't been paying attention. And I'm telling you, it's because the X39 patch and the Eon patch are the two that I wear consistently, and both drill inflammation. Like they just beat it. They beat inflammation. Eon also just knocks the crap out of cortisol, which helps you, which keeps you, keeping weight that you probably don't need. It's great for your anxiety and stress, so it lowers that. And so if you're stress filled, it's going to mess with your cortisol. So I've had the 1-2 punch with the Eon and the X39 going for about a year. And I know for a fact that's had a major impact on what my body has been carrying. And so I just wanted to share that because, that and the fact that my sleep has been tremendous. It's like sound. I'm dreaming. Like I actually have dreams. I have the silliest dreams. And before, I can't even remember the last time I dreamed. So there's a lot of really good things that have come out of these patches for me. And my wife, she's been sleeping soundly. She sleeps like she doesn't even move. I mean, she goes to bed like she's just sound asleep. And I'm almost like, I think I'm gonna take these patches off of you because like you're just too soundly sleeping. So, but guys, so from a product standpoint, it's amazing. It's amazing. And for those of you that are working the business, I want to impress upon you to just, keep working it and keep talking about it because this business has already turned into a multi-six-figure business for us, income wise. over a 13-month period. And we've probably got maybe 7 people, 8 people on our team, including the Banoons, earning 6 figures themselves. So it's not just us that are having happy time over here. It's a lot of people. And, so there's always something to go after. This company has become the #1 growth company in the world in all of direct selling. We're the #1 momentum company in the world now. And we've become, well, I had heard the other day that we'd become the fastest growing company in America, and I got to get confirmation on that, because the fact is we've had 3,000% growth as a company in 4 years. 3,000% growth as a company in 4 years. We're 20 years old as a company, but because of the X39 and when that came out, and that's our flagship product, we sell more than 90% of what we sell is the X39 patch. So that's going to be the patch that if you're looking to build this, that's what we need to be talking about, because everyone needs to reactivate their stem cells. That's what people need. And if you want to grow this quickly, it's the X39 and talking about that's what's going to do it. Now, once people are coming in and they're brand partners with you and we're all having powwows, then I can tell you, hey, guess what? Add the Eon patch, because it's awesome and you're going to love it. And everyone's got different stories. I know people have different stories around the Icewave and glutathione, and there's always a great number of stories for literally every patch. I mean, Jana's and Steven are far more qualified to talk about this, and that's okay with me, because I want to scale businesses. I like to scale businesses. I want to grow as many 6-figure earners as I can throughout our business, and that's going to be good for you, and that's going to be certainly good for us. That's how this business works. It all comes back, and so the more I pour, the more it all comes back. And it becomes this cycle of excellence that we can all benefit from, and it's so good. But it all starts with plugging in. First of all, you got to believe in the company. Like, yeah, this is the right company. There's no question. 20 years old, debt-free, incredible leadership. We're in 85 countries already, so the groundwork's already been done. And we've got capacity, manufacturing capacity, to deliver on over $2 billion with a B, $2 billion worth of product sales every year. We already have that now. So we're just running to catch up to even be able to, we're not even at 600 million yet in sales, but we've still grown 3,000% in 4 years, right? So we've gone from 20 million and we've gone up from there. And so we've got capacity, because a lot of these companies, they don't make it. And if they do even make it, they fall back because due to low capacity, they can't deliver on their promises. We're in 85 countries, guys. They need us to step it up. We're growing like crazy. I think our team's over 3,000 people now, and we're only 13 months into this. I have brand partners. That doesn't even include customers. So it's probably more like 6,000, 7,000, 8,000 when you include customers, but probably more than that. The Banoons probably have 10,000. So just add 10 to whatever I'm saying, and there you go. But I'm just
yeah.
I'm just telling you, I wish I could just plant what I already know about this company, but part of it's going to be in your guys' ability to plug in and continue to be a part of what's happening around. And over time, you're going to see more and more. You'll hear more stories like Brian and Jennifer just talked about. You hear 100 stories like that, all different varying Ron, Mr. Ron right there, his story is insane. Yeah, I've heard your story, sir. I know your story. It's insane. And it's amazing. You get 100 stories like that, and there are hundreds of stories. There's tons of stories that we can't even talk about because they're so crazy. But when we get in little venues like this, we can talk about it. But when you start getting on social media, you got to be like, oh, I know somebody that did this. Well, we got to be a little careful. Governing bodies don't like all the good news, right? They want to make sure their pills are helping too. But it's our patches that are the real miracles. The patches are the ones that are really getting the work done. And they're not very expensive, which is kind of part of the whole point, right? You can, for $99 a month, you can have incredible life-changing results on so many areas of your life. It'll blow your mind. And people that you care about, people that, you know, have dementia that can't even talk to their kids. And then suddenly they're getting on the patch, and now they're having conversations again with their children. It's just, I mean, we've seen several of those. It's just insane, some of the stories. But the results are real. I was lucky. I experienced, in a short period of time, I experienced great results with my pain. Not everybody does, but we've got solutions that will help you. We've got solutions that can help anybody. Like here's an example with my dad. See, my dad had some hip pain too, but the X39 wasn't helping him. And I'm like, give it a little more time, Dad. You know, give it a little more time. His was bone on bone. He's in his 80s now, so his is a little more serious. And unfortunately, his heart isn't the best, so he can't have a procedure done. He can't go under again anymore. So he's past that point. But the good news is I took Lifewave. I took the Lifewave patch, and I stuck one on each of his feet, on the bottom of each of his feet, because I've heard stories of people that have had real relief with that. All of his foot, leg, and hip pain are gone. And he can now sleep soundly. He put the white one on the right side. He put the brown one on the left side, just kind of like right on the middle of your bottom of your foot. Boom, boom. And he gets out of bed now, and he said it doesn't even hurt. He's like, it doesn't even hurt. He's not running marathons or anything, but he's like, it doesn't hurt, which that's the biggest thing for him. So it's so good. Anyway, so I just wanted to give you a little bit, friends. You know, I'm happy to talk about anything, Jana and Steven. I appreciate you allowing me to be on your call and to just, you know, kind of free talk for a few minutes. I'm going to be on a call at 9 o'clock at explorex39.com. That's explorex39.com. Okay, one more time, www.explorex39.com. Just put that in your browser, and that's at 9 p.m. Eastern time. And we're going to have an integrated health practitioner by the name of Ashley Cameron, who y'all know. Some of you know, certainly Stephen and Jana. She's absolutely excellent. And I'm sorry, what's that?
I've got, somebody's got to speak. I got it.
Okay. So Ashley will be on, and then I've got Pam Clem, who is an executive director with us. She's another six-figure earner. She's a very highly competent wellness practitioner, and she's a personal trainer and certified in a number of areas, but she's also a builder and a former leader in a company I was in that just a star in her own right. She's very good at delivering the message. So the three of us are going to be on the 9 o'clock call. But does anybody have any questions that for me personally, or I can turn this right back over to you, Jana, or whatever you'd like to do?
Well, thank you, Jason. Very impressive testimonies you brought out, and a lot of truths here. But okay, so one thing I want to add to you, Jason, is to whatever you said, is that we have clinical studies and we have patents. And this is what makes this company amazing. And you as a distributor, it gives you a peace of mind, because how many patents do we have now, Jason? Do you know? David Schmidt, actually, not we, but David Schmidt has.
Yeah, well, I know David has more than 180 patents. He actually kind of quit counting, and I believe 130 of them are attributed to the X39, if I'm not mistaken. But he has a number of different, I would bet there's probably well over 200. He has certainly alluded to the fact that he is not counted in a long, long time.
Mm-hmm.
So
And then also we have clinical studies which are extremely important, especially for practitioners. And because we do have to prove everything, and then we have proofs in our clinical studies. And I just read today in our emails that came in that about 6 months ago, David Schmidt was talking about X39 and X49 worn together. He said that it might produce sort of like a protection or a Faraday cage as a protection for 5G.
What that,
EMF protection, right? And at the time, like 6 months ago, he wasn't sure yet. He says it's very promising, but they're about to do clinical studies. Well, the emails came in. They already did perform those studies, and we have an amazing news. I mean, if you wear X39 and X49 together, now they have proven that it protects you from these negative frequencies. And that is amazing. Like, let's say that you have a day, you're going to town for shopping, right? And there is a lot of 5G towers concentrated, and you want to feel very protected from those negative frequencies. Some people are more sensitive than others. You can just put X39 and X49 together on your body and know that you are being protected from those frequencies. So that was an amazing news to read. Did anybody else read that email today? I mean, I noticed that email, so that was very, very nice.
I
So
did not notice that email today. That came from the corporate office?
yes, it's on. I can send it over to you, but that
Yeah.
was like really nice to see that, because I was waiting for him to prove it. You know, because we were talking about it. He was talking about it on many shows and many interviews, that it's extremely promising. And now they actually proved it. Now, when you spoke of some people who have immediate results and some people that have to wait for a little bit of time for results, I do want to say I just had my sister from Europe here. Her name is Monica. She doesn't speak English. She already went back, so that's why I was missing so long. I was spending very close time with her and a lot of time with her. And of course, the first thing I did, I have put her on X39 patch, and I did put on her Eon as well. And she had almost miraculous pain relief from these two patches within 2 days. So she's definitely hooked. She's from Slovakia. And I looked it up, and sure enough, the company is already striving in Slovakia. They're doing very well. Slovaks are interested. So I just wanted to tell you, my sister was that immediate pain relief person. But anyway, I want to give you now the platform for questions for Jason while we have him here. So
we got Dave.
Dave.
Dave, go right ahead.
Yeah, Jason, where are you applying the Eon patch at? Are you moving it around, or you have a specific spot you use it?
Sir, I typically put it either on, it can be on the opposite spot that you might put the X39. So you can, two of the recommended spots are on the back of the neck and right below the belly button. I've also many times put them right on my left hand between my index finger and my thumb. There's a spot there. Sometimes I do want to wear it in a spot that people can notice it. Sure. And especially, if I'm out and about and I just, I don't want to have it. I want it to be in a spot that looks good, but isn't overly weird for somebody to accept, you know what I mean? So like on my hand, it's a good spot. Some people will put it on their arm. I've worn them in several different areas. I always try to do it in the recommended, because I just respect the doctors and the scientists, and they put them there for a reason. And so I do try to do that. But when it comes to both of those, I mean, I have put them in on the exact spot that hurts. And, especially if it's like, the Eon patch is so good for inflammation. And if you've got a sore back, or if you've got a sore area, it never would hurt to put it right near on it. And I've had it work. But I've also had it work pretty much everywhere I wear it. And it's not just for inflammation, it's for, cutting cortisol, it's for anxiety, it's for stress. Some people call it the happy patch. And, I try not to nickname things too much, but a happy patch is a good thing for everybody. And anytime you can de-stress, de-escalate the amount of, hardship in your life with a simple patch, I recommend it. But they do have their, every single sleeve of patches that we have at Lifewave has an instruction manual in it. And in the back of every single one of those, are like the top 5 places they recommend to put it.
It
And
is
s-
also
yeah.
in your back office, Dave. If you go to your back office, if you have your website, under resources, you can find information about every patch and where to wear it. Now, when it comes to Eon patch, you can put it right on the point of pain and as well. And sometimes how I wear Eon patch is sometimes I just wear it at night. So it's my night patch, or I put it right under X39. So I have on a C7 X39, Eon right under it, and X49 on the belly button. Like when I need to go to town and I don't want frequencies affecting me. So Eon patch is quite flexible, but it will work even on the point of pain. Like,
Okay,
let's say your shoulder hurts, you can put it here.
Yeah, it's a great
All right.
question. That's a great question. I actually gonna have to jump off here in like a minute. So if anybody has
All
another,
right, anybody else? Quick question for Jason? I guess no one?
I'm happy to jump
I have a
on.
question. I have
Okay,
a question real quick.
Sure.
go ahead.
So a new guest of mine, she's ready to sign up, wants to have lunch with me, and she has tendonitis. So she's really excited about starting, and I know we're supposed to start with X39 and not talk about any of the legacy, what have you. So should I suggest, and I know you just mentioned positions, but should I suggest to put it where her pain is, or just put it on the C7, or what do you suggest? I thought I wanted to ask.
Yeah, personally, I would put the X39 on the C7 just because I like it there, and it's always worked there. And so I would do that, and then yeah, that's a tough call with tendonitis, but I would recommend probably, I mean, and the Eon patch is so good. I think a double that inflammation can be such a killer, but it's so good for it. I'd probably recommend that one too, and just stay very hydrated, keep your electrolytes coming in. You had another question I saw. I think that was you, Kim. Let me see that chat again. Oh, I do use the Eon at night. What I'll usually do is I'll put the X39 on early morning, and then usually by about noon, I'll stick the Eon patch on, and I'll sleep. I'll go to bed because I don't use the sleep patches technically, but I'll keep the Eon patch on, and I'll take the X39 off at like 8 o'clock or 7 o'clock. But I'll keep the Eon patch on because it just gives me a nice chill, and I'll just keep it on. And then
But
because it's not a big deal to go to sleep with, at least I don't believe it is. Jana, tell me if that's a big deal.
Jana,
No,
Jana does this, what she does, let me get up here, hang on, I gotta find myself 1 second. You gotta have a visual for this one here.
Are you about to do a joke?
What do you mean a joke? Hang on now, hang on. What Jana does is at the end of the day, she takes my Eon and she goes,
I knew because
You've been talking too much. You need to
No.
take the inflammation out of your lips.
Okay. Well, anyway, I knew he's gonna do some joke. But yes, by the way, Eon patch is a very good night patch.
Good
Yeah.
night.
I have one real quick question.
Sure.
Where we at? Where
What
we at?
Jennifer, I'm
Where you
sorry.
at, Jennifer?
it's
Where'd I
Jennifer.
hide you at? I'll
Okay,
find her.
so you got me? Okay,
I'm looking.
I got
Jennifer,
you.
you got it? Okay, you see me? Okay. My question is, what if a few times you forget to take your patch off and you leave it on 14 hours or all 24 hours or
It's
something?
not that big a deal, but I've heard them say that to take a day off to reset. Just don't wear one the next day, especially the stem cell patches.
So you don't grow a third eye.
Yeah, we don't need third eyes on the team. I mean, if you
An
got
extra organ, maybe?
if you got a third eye, we'll grandfather you in. But
I'm so glad that you actually discussed about the Eon because I just started taking it a week and a half ago. I got high cortisol levels. My inflammation markers are from a 1 to 10 or about a 7. So with fibro. So I have noticed the cortisol calming way down so far. So I think that it's doing a great job. But
No.
before you go, I wanted to show you, here's a card that we made up.
Awesome.
It's Lifewave and it's got the ocean in the background. And then here, I don't know if you can see it,
I
but there's
see
a
it.
QR code and there's the little X39 thing and they can just scan it. And so we talk to people about it and we hand them one of those.
I
Oh,
love
that is so
Wow,
cool.
That is
Holy
awesome.
cow.
Oh, it's
Look
very
at
good,
that.
very
How
good.
creative. Very, very
Very
nice.
creative. That's so good.
That is.
Yeah.
Well, I'd love to connect with y'all on Facebook. Let's try to do that. I hope I'll jump
Thank
on
you.
anytime with y'all. You know, I know Steven and Jana have my phone number. Feel free to grab it from them. I got to jump
Oh,
off.
let's publicize it to
Mhm.
to the
But
400,000 people to let them call Jason.
what are you saying?
I'm gonna publicize it so you get 400,000 phone calls.
Yeah, well, hey, if they order, I'll take the call. How about that?
Yes.
Jason, we know you have to go, brother. We thank you so
Yes.
much for
Thank
being
you.
here with us. And
Well, we appreciate and value you guys, and I'm looking forward to just continuing this. It's so exciting. There's so much going on. The more you plug in, the better it'll get.
Mhm.
But yeah, I'm gonna head over to explorex39.com and jump on in 10 if you can. But yeah, every Thursday and every Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday at 9 p.m. And we'll look forward to seeing you guys here soon, okay?
some may jump over because we'll stop here pretty soon. We're gonna do some more testimonies and then we're gonna cut out. So
Guys,
thank you,
take care.
Jason.
Thank you,
Not all.
Jason. Thank you so much.
All right.
Okay,
So what do you think about doing some testimonies here? Because I know some of the people here from, listen, you guys got brave this past week when I was doing it in the truck and y'all told some amazing testimonies. Can you guys share some of these testimonies that we had before? Dave, I won't pick on you no more for a little bit, brother. I'll pull you down for a minute here. Let's see.
Yes, any other testimonies? I know that Elke, I don't know if she's here. I think she was here.
Let me see.
But she was asking about
Oh,
this.
Sister Darnell could give a testimony too, because she had an amazing
Yes.
testimony. If she wants to get brave here, come on,
How about
sister.
she's next? Elke was asking about the thyroid.
Oh, yeah,
Was
yeah,
this
yeah,
Brother
yeah.
Ron?
Brother Ron Gunter, let me pull you up,
Yes.
Brother Ron, just in case she's up there,
So-
because you have an awesome, awesome, awesome testimony about the thyroid. Go ahead, brother. This brother can tell you he's got every testimony on the entire book for Lifewave.
That is amazing.
I have been
He
pretty
wears
fortunate.
them I think he wears them from head to toe, though. There you
Oh,
go.
yeah, this
I've only got 8 of them on. What do you mean? No.
8. That's a lot of frequencies coming through. I mean, light frequencies.
No, this seems to help. I've got some sinus drainage and that seems to help break it up. So
Is it glutathione you're wearing?
No, it's an Eon.
Eon?
Oh, really?
Okay. Mhm.
Well, you know, David Schmidt did say if you have sinus trouble, you put it on each lymph node and even one over the thyroid, all 3 at the same time. And I am a witness. Next morning, it's gone.
Mhm.
Yeah, the one on each side really helps with the glands and the swelling in your upper part of your throat like that. It helps a lot.
Yes.
But I just had some down here that's kind of making me hoarse. So I thought, well, I'd do that, and it seemed to help. So
So
But-
what's your testament about thyroid, Brother Ron?
well, in 2014, I got lymphoma in my thyroid from, well, I can't really say it, using some spray. And they cut it out except for a small piece. And they said it had, what do they call that? Hashimoto disease. And that it went on ahead and shrunk up, so I didn't have anything left. So I've been taking the same amount of levothyroxine for 10 years. And I started feeling bad it's been about a month ago. And my heart rate kept jumping up and stuff, and I couldn't figure out what was wrong. And I felt like I drank about 13 cups of coffee. And I thought, I remember reading something about that. So I looked it up and it called it hyperthyroidism. So I just stopped taking the medicine. I called my doctor and he told me to come in. They did blood work and he told me don't take it anymore. And I said, why? And he said, well, evidently it grew back. I don't know.
That is, listen, this is not the first time that we hear this testimony. When we came into Lifewave, about 2 months later, there was a lady writing out her testimony, and she had very similar, actually the same testimony as you. She was on thyroid medication for about 20 years, long time, all her life almost, right? Half a life. And when she started on X39, she was actually wearing it right here. And I want to say it was X39, but now I don't remember exactly what it was. She was wearing X39 and some patch right here.
Yeah.
And then she started the same symptoms of hypothyroidism. And she was even taken to emergency room. So she was thinking the patches are not working and she's getting worse. And they did all the testing and they said, we need to take you off your medication. Your thyroid was awakened. It started working.
Yeah,
So
I was amazed.
X39.
I was amazed because I know it generates stem cells and they grow organs with stem cells.
Yeah.
So evidently, I don't know. My doctor's really confused right now. He's having a hard time dealing with it.
Yes. Well, that's a great news. And that's how 95% people are. There is 5% or 3%, actually, it's 97% of people that have amazing testimonies that have better lives. There is 3% that I, noticed that don't have testimonies, or maybe they do, but they just didn't notice or don't know because they had no blood test, no testing, because these patches work on your internal organs and tissues on things that you might not be aware of.
Right.
So
I didn't know this was growing back,
That's amazing. That is so beautiful. Thank you so much, Ron.
You
Now
bet.
I'd like to go to Sister Darnell.
All right, Sister Darnell, wake up, girl.
I'm here. Hello.
There she is. Hang on, whoop,
Wow.
lost you. Hang on, let me find you again.
Yeah,
Where'd she go?
Oh, we
I'm
lost you.
waiting. Hello.
I know, but I gotta figure it out. Let's see. Oh, wait a minute. I think I saw her.
Okay.
Nope. I did a second ago and then I lost. There she is. All
Yeah,
right.
I guess my most recent testimony is the fact that my gums are doing so much better than they had been over the last 35, 40 years. So back in February, they had, sent me to have consultation to get a tooth pulled. And I didn't really want to do that. And I had already told my dentist that I was on phototherapy with X39. And, she kind of, yeah, well, you still have inflammation in your gums. So I went back last week in June, and she was amazed at how much better my gums are. And they're no longer talking about pulling that tooth. And I can feel when I brush my teeth that it doesn't wiggle anymore. So I think
Amen.
on the horizon, they are going to start talking about bone growth, because I believe that is exactly what happened between the two X-rays that were taken last year and this year.
That you told me about that, and that was also the second time I heard similar testimony. There was one testimony before you that had a very good gums testimony, that her inflammation went down. So with that, when you pointed to stem cells building bone, I want to speak about X49 a little bit, which, I am not saying you have to get X49. X39 is a systemic patch. It works also on bones and muscles as on any other tissues and organs. It is systemic, by the way, as I said, but X49 is specifically for bone growth and muscle growth.
I wear the bundle.
You do. So,
yes.
Okay, so maybe that's why. Because David Schmidt, I listened to several of his interviews and his
Mhm.
speeches. And it was very impressive to listen about X49 scientifically, because it specifically builds bones, and women after menopause have problems with bone loss,
And men
osteopenia.
have all their teeth falling out, so I'm gonna start
That's
using
right. When you don't
X49.
have teeth, when teeth are going bad, that means your bones are really no good. So basically X49 is good for osteopenia and osteoporosis, right? And that took my attention because that's very important. And I know that the progesterone cream, natural progesterone cream, builds bones as well. So that's what I always recommend for women after menopause, to have bioidentical progesterone cream. But then there is this patch SP6 that Lifewave has, that if you wear that, that actually balances out the hormonal production in the body systemically as well. And sometimes when women use SP6 patch, they don't have to take bioidentical hormones anymore. So this is quite amazing how all of this works. But before we end, I do want to say one thing. Be careful with patches, how you store them. Okay. If they seem not to work, be careful that they were not on a hot sun too long. Like when they were delivered and they were maybe on a hot sun for 2 days, that you were out of town and they were out there and they got really, really hot, or that you have them stored somewhere close to the body, like you wear them in purse and you wear the purse and it's close to your body, because remember, they get activated by the body heat. Okay, so what happens that they all get activated, and then also sun, they get activated by sun as well. So they all can get activated and they're working there, and then they get deactivated after several days. So be careful to store them away from the body. Be careful so you don't have them somewhere on a table where a cat or dog can sit on them, because they will get activated by the heat of a cat's or a dog's body as well. So as soon as you get them, put them to a nice colder environment where there is air conditioning, and put them to the cabinet somewhere. You go in the morning, take one out quickly and put it back away from the body, okay? So that's very important.
Real quick before we leave, Suzanne, can you share your testimony? My wife was not here when you shared it before, because I know you've had some nice results as well.
Well,
Was
I
it-
don't, I'm not sure what
Or
you're.
may have, no, you know what it is? I know what it was. We were doing a question is what it was. Who was it that had that? So anybody else, let me ask this, anybody else have a testimony before we log out?
I have one I want to chime in. Oh, shoot.
Where you at?
I have a
I don't-
testimony.
Where
ahead.
you at? Who is it? Scott, is that you?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we talked today, right?
Okay, Scott, yes, hang on, Scott, let me get you up here. All
Okay.
right, go ahead, brother.
Okay. Well, I heard about X39 on John's show, John Moore radio show, and I thought, oh, good grief, what's he selling now? And I thought, what's this now? Oh my God. I was used to Leon Green and his essential oils, so for years I was listening to that, and I know Leon. Anyhow, I bought it, tried it out, and I used it for about 4 months. And I went to the doctor about a month ago, and my doctor said to me, I've had high blood pressure for about 15 years now, 10, about a good 10 years, at least 10. And the lady did my blood pressure, and she said, wow, perfect. I'd never heard that before. I said, what? And she said, yes, it's perfect. And she said, what have you been doing, jogging or something? I said, no, I haven't. And I told her about X39. But when I was done explaining to her what I have heard from the show, she was interested. She left the room. She came back in, and she wanted to. She wrote it down, Lifewave X39, yeah, my number. And then she left the room. The doctor came in and he said, yeah, we're looking at your blood work there. What have you been doing? I go, oh, and I showed him the patch on my neck, and he said, what? And I told him X39, yada yada. And he said, yeah, you were pre-diabetic. You're not anymore. I'm like, well, that's good.
Yeah.
And then so now he wants to. He wrote it all down. He's looking into it for himself too, because he's not getting any younger. I went to see my eye doctor, and this is why I got an X39 for my eyes. I went to see my eye doctor a week ago, and I have his paperwork right here. I'll read. He wrote down here. He was dumbfounded because my right eye, I've been almost blind in my whole life, is very poor vision. And it's the connection between my brain and the eyeball. That connection is very poor. I don't know what the exact medical term is for that, but he when he had me reading with those big goggles where he's closing this eye off and he's turning the dials on this one. I usually read like 3 letters, the E, the big one, and 2 underneath it. And that's about as far as I get with the right eye. But then I went to the third line and I was like, P? And he's like, oh, very good. L? Oh, yes, there is an L up there. Oh, he goes, very good. And he figured I was done. And then I go, M? I started reading the next line. And he's like, what? And he's looking at me with his jaw on the floor. And he's like, and I started reading the next line. I go, is that a T? Yes, that's a T. And he just sat back like this. And I just kept reading with an eye that I haven't used hardly at all in my whole life. And so my prescription changed just after 4 months. It says my right eye went from 20/80 to 20/60, and my left eye went from 20/30 to 20/20. So, and he's changing my prescription. He wrote down some other information here for me, but he was flabbergasted. And of course, he wants to know all about Lifewave. And I was explaining it to him, and he just couldn't believe it. I told him that I heard Steve say that Steve was a 500 prescription, then he went down to 250 roughly in astigmatism. And he was like, just tilted his head, like, how does that happen? How do eyes get better? I mean, they just give you thicker glasses, I thought. So that's what I always thought. I'm 58, and I'm real happy with it. My energy level went up, but I think one time I did have my X39 in the windshield, just like Jana was saying, for maybe a half an hour, and they got a little warm. I thought, oh boy, I hope that didn't affect them, and it probably did. So I guard them more now, because that is important. They're not cheap, so you want to get your best effects out of them. But
Yeah.
I have a question. Would I be able to wear an X39 on the side of my head, right by one of my eyes? Would that be okay, or should it be on the C7?
Well, I will tell you how what David Schmidt recommends, what company recommends, and what people are saying. Okay, so
Well, he even said in the meeting recently, he said when we did the test, we did C7 and right below the navel. He said, but theoretically, he said, you can place it anywhere on the body and it'll still work.
yes. So the reason that they show you C7 on the neck and below navel is because that's how they did clinical studies. That's how they proved that it works. So that's what they put in the literature, that this is how you wear it. That's recommendation. It works for people. I wear it that way too. But many people, when they have certain troubles, they want to put that patch close to where the trouble area is. And they have been doing that, and it still works for them. So I guess you could, brother, you could do that.
I have worn one on my temple once before, just out of curiosity.
Sometimes it in here because I put so many patches on me that I have no place, so I just put it here. It still seems to work. Yeah.
The sleepy poo patch, you can put it here, or on the side of your eye here, or back here. There's a lot of places for that. That was why I was wondering if you could put the X39 there.
Yes.
But
It's normally
Huh.
wherever the energy that flows through the body is where the patches work good at. But
Yes.
two,
Okay.
when you put them closer to those troubled areas, I did it on my lower back for a while, and it actually got rid of the biggest part of the pain in my lower back by wearing it there.
Just don't ever wear X39 with Alavida together. They
Wow.
somehow
Don't do that.
cancel, not Alavida X39. That's why X39 is more of a day patch. It's not a night patch. I do have one lady that likes it at night. So it's all subjective, I guess. But yes, but it is usually a day patch. So I recommend it during the day, especially because a lot of people get energy from it. So you don't want that energy at night when you need to sleep. But Alavida frequencies with the X39 kind of tend to cancel each other out. So don't wear them together. Alavida should be a night patch, actually. If you have
Elevitas for your skin. Is that correct?
it is for the skin, but I have done more deeper research on it, and I want to do a special video on this because it is actually prolonging telomeres. I will do a special video on this. I have just
Okay.
done recently a study into Alavida and what it does, and it's more than just skin and more than just wrinkles of skin. It literally rebuilds collagen. It literally rebuilds the health of entire skin and thickness. So
Oh,
yes, Alavida is a skin patch.
elasticity.
Yeah,
What?
elasticity, the whole health and collagen. It's such a great skin patch. So I wear it. I wear it here every night. I put it right here.
Oh, and then you know, the skin is the epidermis is the largest organ of the body.
It is. It is.
Yes.
And it's also it gets some things in, right? Like it absorbs
Yeah.
things. So you can absorb a lot of things through skin. It's a very important organ. So we should take
Oh,
care of skin. Mhm.
Jana, do you
yes.
do the whole system for Elevita?
I do, and I am not on beauty creams, and I was never a lady that wanted these special creams and all of that kind of stuff. I will tell you, just regular virgin coconut oil is the best for your skin, right? Whatever you can eat, that's what you put on your skin. However, I started using Alavida. No, I use patch every night. That's just, Steve can tell you, it goes right here as I go to bed. But I started using their skin products as well. And I do it because they're 98% all from nature. I looked up what's in them. They're very safe, very good, and I like the smell. So I said, hey, I'm just going to support the company. I have to put something on my face anyway. Why not to do Alavida, right? The whole skincare. So I am doing it myself, yes.
I do have a small testimonial.
Yes.
On the X39 patch for 6 months now. And I have many health issues, so I really don't know what it is addressing. But one very noticeable thing for me is my gums are just really healthy and fine, and they weren't. So I'm very pleased with that.
And that's, you see, Darnell, this is quite common benefit, gums, and that's amazing. And when you have a lot of issues in your body, just think of how many years it took you to
Oh,
get
I know.
those
I know.
issues, right? So
Yeah.
just be very patient and wear this patch every day. It's part of my life now. I would not be at this time and age, I would not be without this patch because I know that stem cells are the medicine of the future.
Oh,
In fact, I'm doing a lot of, and I know, believe me, I really pray that David Schmidt and his team and scientists that are for humanity, they will keep making it better, keep refining it, because our stem cell is what makes our organs.
Right.
That's what creates our new organs when we are in utero, and when anything is getting fixed, clinics are injecting stem cells of from
Mhm.
other people or from placentas, and I don't trust that when it's somebody else's stem cells. That has also ethical issues, right? But when it's your own stem cells, God
Right.
gave those stem cells for a reason, and for whatever reason, we are losing by the age 35, we have already 50% of them inactive.
Mm.
This is why aging happens. So this technology that just by light, frequency of near infrared light, is able to reactivate, rejuvenate our stem cells. I think that this is something we should definitely have as part of our life.
That's
Yes. So I'm very happy for your gums, for
Thank
your
you.
testimony.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, we have the question here, with the iPhone. Sister, we got you on the screen, but I just don't see a name on there, so.
Oh, isn't that the sister that
Is
just?
that the one? Okay, okay. All right, then let me go to this one here. Elkie, by
Elkie,
the way,
yes.
that was Ron. Let me pull you up here.
Yes, Elke was asking me today by text, who was that grew the thyroid? Where was Brother
It's
Ron?
Ron, right above you there.
Yes.
That young fella right there with a pretty smile on his face and the big eyes. He actually grew his thyroid completely back.
Well, that's what doctor said. It maybe grew back or whatever, it got
Well, he
reactivated.
did the blood test, so he knows that it's working.
Well,
So
it's
there has to be
producing
something there.
hormones that it's supposed to produce, and that's what's important.
I do things, as Brother Steve knows, a little different. I try to test things, and a lot of the points that we use the patches on are pressure points. And
Yeah.
there's a lot of places that we can do things that'll cause things to work. I try to stimulate the pineal gland, and as most people know, the Alavita patch at night will do that. There's also a pressure point right in between your eyes that does that as well. And like on your legs, I found places that will help you control your pancreas. And I've had my blood sugar get out of range. And from a Japanese masseuse, I learned a spot where you could push and make your sugar drop almost immediately. So that helps a lot. But there's asking if something's going to grow back. One lady I just noticed put on ovaries. Will they grow back? I mean, I don't know.
That person's scared.
Well, what I want to say, we don't claim that it will grow back organs or anything like this, but some people have just such an amazing testimonies with patches, and some have not so amazing. I mean, they have good testimony, but they're not as powerful. So
Ron's had so many,
mhm.
everything from congestive heart failure,
Your
from
valve,
kidney
Ron,
failure.
right? You had valve that was leaky and that got fixed. And that's
Well,
not only you, there is another person that the valve completely got fixed.
Well, when I went in September, my next appointment was supposed to be February of last year, September. Pardon me. And he didn't think I would make it to the next appointment, really. And Brother Steve, I was talking to him, I think it was in December. And so I tried the patches and started, and it made me feel better. So I kept on, and then in February when I went in, he couldn't hardly hear the leaky valve anymore. And he was sitting there, and he doesn't have any hair anyway, so he was. I have confused him because he thinks the AMA is misleading him.
Hmm.
Oh, yes.
Amazing.
Well, I think it was Jason that was just here with us, and he was speaking early on with his friend's testimony that he was supposed to go for surgery for heart valve. But in the meantime, he got on patches, and and he actually, his testimony was he doesn't feel anything. He was wearing patches, but he says it doesn't seem to do nothing. I don't feel anything different or anything. And then he went on to pre-op, or they did a testing again just before surgery, and they said we don't have to do surgery, your valve is fixed. So while he didn't feel anything, the patch was working. And it is a very well-known fact, according to David Schmidt, that X39 and X49 is extremely good for cardiovascular system. It will rebuild the entire system within 6 months.
Where do you wear them?
I wear both of those every
Did you
day.
know it's www.startx39.com. Read that website. It's on the very bottom, but also listen to everything David Schmidt ever spoke on that subject. Like if you go to Google and just put in a Google David Schmidt X39, X49, and start listening to his speeches. He's the inventor, the scientist, and he just goes into tremendous depth. In fact, his speeches are the best thing you can do when you do this business as a distributor and you want to be good educator for the people. Please listen to David Schmidt. He's the best teacher because it comes right from the source, right? The information. Elke, do you want to say anything?
Yeah. Yes, thank you so much. That was a great testimony from Ron. But I wanted to ask you about, you have family in Europe. I do too. And if I want to send them the package, and is it streamlined between the countries? If I put an order in, can I do it from the United States, or did they have to do it from the European office?
I gave my sister patches, right? You know how East Europeans are, they don't even make much money at all. And she just kind of financially can't do anything. So I just made sure she has a lot of patches. So I put my patches on her and then sent her home with a lot. But if you go on your website,
yes,
you can change the country there.
Yeah, I've been that far. I've been reading up on it. I just want to know how streamlined it is. If you had anybody doing overseas.
Yeah, we have Australia, Canada.
They get them as quickly.
Oh no.
But you're talking about East Germany?
Italy.
Italy.
They can, I have family in Italy who orders through my website.
From what people have told me that have ordered overseas, I've heard several different people in different countries, and they've always said to me that that the thing is that they're getting them about as quickly as what we get them in the U.S. So I would assume what it is, they have distribution points.
Ireland.
Different parts
it comes
of
from
Europe.
Ireland.
Is it Ireland?
Yeah,
Okay.
Ireland distributes. Is that what you're asking? Elke, it would be good to call customer service on that. Did we lose her? I think we lost her.
Maybe so. So
okay.
Anyway, we're gonna have to close, guys, anyway there. So getting late, and we've got an early morning here.
Nashville, we have some appointments here. So it was so nice to be with you. I hope you all are doing well. Yes, Ron?
Brother Steve, I forgot to tell you, my mother told me she wanted you to thank you for praying for her the other night. She's going to be coming home tomorrow.
Excellent. I am so happy to hear that.
Yes.
It was
you got a patcher from head to toe.
Well, they thought she was gone and she couldn't talk anymore or anything. And when I went down there, I was praying with her too. And I told her you had prayed for her and she wanted me to thank you for that. And I cracked a little joke with her, and all of a sudden she started to laugh, and she's been doing great ever since. I don't know.
Amen. Amen. I'm so
I was
happy
just
to hear
teasing her that the nurse's cracker had the cheese on it, but it slid off, and she started laughing.
Is this video going to be available, Steve? Somewhere? Are you going to
I'll
post it?
post. I'll try to do it tonight.
Do you post it on YouTube or where?
Yeah, on Banoon X39 YouTube.
Okay, perfect. We really want to listen to this again. It was wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, we'll get it up for you there. God bless you guys.
Anybody has like one last minute, very, very tiny, short thing to say or ask?
Just want to say thank you for the ID number. That's the way I got in. So thank you.
You're so welcome. I'm
Yes.
glad you made it.
We have Kim. Kim here. Hi, Kim.
Hi, Jana.
Nice to hear
Hey.
from you. Hello.
Yeah. I love texting you, talking with you. Question, when you guys were talking with Jason, talking about a meeting, this is it, something I didn't get it all. What was
Oh,
that?
yeah. The Saturday training at 1.
Yeah, he's at Explore.
No. Saturday training
Oh,
with
Saturday.
Mary.
Oh, okay. Hang on. That's the one that
Yes.
I've got.
So now remember those who went Saturday morning at 9. It's good he reminded me. There is no more Saturday morning at 9. They're doing it at 1. And it's with Steve and Gina married. Now, you know,
Yep.
they are kind of on a fire, right? They're very.
It is This Is It Team. thisisitteam.com /SAT for Saturday, SAT.
Thank you.
And code, by the way, I don't know if you need it or not, but it says code 39, if that matters. I've never done that, so I don't know.
Sometimes you have to use that to log on to some of their meetings.
Okay, so it'll be
Yeah.
code 39.
That's for Saturday. We're gonna try to be there. We're gonna try to go.
Okay. All righty, guys. Well, God bless all y'all. Thank y'all for being here, and we will see you guys next week. And I'll definitely try to get this video. It takes time for it to process, but I'll definitely try to get it up. Kim, if you want to catch the meeting that we just had, it'll be at Banoon X39 YouTube channel in about an hour.
Thanks, guys. Good night.
And
Thank you.
welcome back, Jana.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right.
Love you all.
All right, God bless you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. I didn't know if Kim was the last one to come in or not, but you know.
That was the other Kim, I think.
Oh, okay, okay.
Another
Thanks.
Kim.
All right.
All right, thanks. Bye-bye.
Thank you.